we travel back to the year 2000, looking at everything from predictions made about what the city would look like in the future,
North County is expected to grow faster than any other area,
to already skyrocketing home prices.
It's crazy. I wouldn't want to be buying right now. Definitely not.
The year 2000 was a time of explosive change.
One, go!
Plus, the fears of a digital disaster and Napster's reign on the web.
You gotta be thinking Y2K.
It's going into like a candy store. You've got thousands of songs, anything you want.
Mommy!
And a Panda Cup that captured the hearts of San Diegans. We're rewinding the clock to the turn of the millennium on this News 8 Throwback Special. Hello and welcome to this News 8 Throwback Special looking at the year 2000. I'm Carlo Cicchetto. We're now 25 years into the 21st century and we wanted to look back to see what was happening at the start of a new millennium. But first, we're going back a little further, all the way back to 1983. That's when Sandag used its crystal ball to predict what San Diego would look like in the year 2000. They told our Bill Pounders about big changes on the way, and some of their predictions weren't too far off.
If projections are correct, San Diego County's population will grow 45% between now and the year 2000. There are almost 2 million people living in the county now, and San Diego remains the fastest growing county in California. At a luncheon put on by the San Diego Association of Governments, also known as SANDAG, members said the growth rate here could cause some basic problems unless something is done to prepare for the increase.
The county can probably handle it. In the San Diego region, it's still going to be a nice place to be in the year 2000, but it's going to look and work very differently from the way it looks and works today. There's going to be a lot more freeway congestion. The region will be about 61% bigger in terms of the physical size that it takes up. In other words, a lot of the land that we see now, which is vacant acreage, or we perceive of as open space or kind of a rural atmosphere, is going to be housing and commercial activity.
Right now there's about 9 miles of the freeway system that's congested during the peak hour, and our estimate is that if all the highways are built that are recommended in the plan, that would go up to about 75 miles.
North County is expected to grow faster than any other area. This is where most of the traffic problems would probably be. Sandag suggests that more traffic lanes be added to Interstate 5 and 15 and expanding the rail system, such as the trolley. But even if the improvements are made, Sandag says this will not solve all the problems created by growth. There will continue to be traffic problems, says one spokesman. Demand for housing will be higher and communities will change.
Okay, it's extremely difficult these days for a family to find an affordable starter home in San Diego. Today, the average price has skyrocketed to about $1 million, that according to Realtor.com. Back in 2000, new homes could sell for under $150,000. And while that sounds like an incredible deal today, as Chris Saunders reports, prices were already getting out of hand for many buyers.
If you're looking for a new single-family home in San Diego County and you want to pay less than $200,000, good luck finding one.
They've disappeared.
Anything that was under 200,000 is at least gone up to 220.
It's hard to sit there and look through the paper every Sunday and go, oh, well, they keep getting even more expensive.
Realtors, buyers, and sellers know it, and they confirm a Union Tribune survey that the under $200,000 new single-family home in San Diego County is a dinosaur.
San Diego County, more homes are selling for more than $400,000 than any other category. And who can afford homes like that? Well, in this county, a lot of people.
A lot of prosperity. We're doing well.
Diane Teddy, a realtor who specializes in I-15 areas like Poway and Scripps Ranch, says a lot of people can flat out afford to buy in the higher price ranges.
And they've made that money through buying up. This is a person who's owned a home or 2 homes in San Diego and has dealt with the appreciation, as well as there's no unemployment in San Diego right now, so everybody is working and making money.
And developers aren't building many homes under $200,000, even though demand is huge.
The cost of land in Southern California, there just is not land cheap enough for a developer to go in and put that type of product line on that piece of land.
We'll go ahead and take a look around.
Buyers like the Fitzgeralds have to look hard for an affordable home.
Terribly expensive.
Extremely expensive. Yeah, it's very difficult for a young family to find a home that is big enough that we can fit in and be able to afford in an area where we would want to live and be able to raise our family.
And sellers like Herbert Perico have a lot of offers to choose from.
Tons of people just walking through the house, and offers come real fast.
Alex St. John is selling his townhome he bought in the 100s a few years ago for well into the 200s.
It's crazy. I wouldn't want to be buying right now. Definitely not. It's a good time to be selling, but a horrible time to be buying.
Chris Saunders, News 8.
So much has changed since the year 2000, maybe nothing more than the price of gas in California. Back in 2000, the average for a gallon of gas in San Diego was just a little over $1.70, higher than the national average, but not by too much. Fast forward to today. The average consistently sits well over $4 a gallon, at least $1.50 higher than the national average. And back in the early 2000s, gas was actually cheaper than bottled water in some parts of the country, but prices climbed, first with oil conflicts, then supply chain scrambles after the pandemic, along with California's environmental rules. Factor in inflation and suddenly gas becomes a whole lot more. Now, many are switching gears, opting for electric vehicles and hybrid solutions. Bag it, scan it, and pay all without a cashier. Self-checkout was on the rise in 2000, promising to speed up your trip to the grocery store. What is now commonplace was a big technological advancement at the turn of the century. News 8 went to check out the excitement surrounding the self-serve scanners.
A line of supermarket cashiers wait on customers at the Ralph's in Del Mar.
Please scan your first item and place it in the bag.
Not far away, store customers are checking out their own groceries. This is the new You Check It system, an automated, computer-generated supermarket checkout line where you supply the labor.
Who says old ladies aren't computer literate?
Ralph's is experimenting with the idea of offering full service and self-service for grocery shoppers.
This system was not implemented to replace any jobs.
Instead, Ralph says it's a quick way for people with 15 items or less to get through the checkout line on their own.
It was easy, real easy.
I think it's pretty cool, actually.
I think an awful lot of people, especially at rush hour, would use it.
Okay, go ahead and scan your first item across and put it right into the bag.
Lori Drake was there to help, saying most first-timers needed a little lesson to figure out the system.
Overall, I think they're just unsure. They're unsure what it is. They've never seen it before, but they're excited, though.
Now, I wanted to test out the system, and yes, it is fun, and with a little instruction, it is easy. After a few tries, the machine picks up the barcode, an overhead camera helps identify produce, and different slots will take your cash or credit card.
So how can Ralph's be sure people don't just stick something in their bag without paying for it? Well, you see, the bags are weighed along the way, and if anything goes in here without being scanned first, they know about it.
And that's how it's keeping track of your items, is by setting it on the scale.
Ralph's claims this is the first self-serve in California. Though the system is already popular in some other states, do-it-yourselfers can still use their club card and coupons and may be able to bypass the long lines here by becoming their own supermarket cashier.
Before Petco Park became the heart of Padres baseball, it was the site of history-making explosions. More than 10,000 people packed downtown San Diego to witness the city's first ever building implosion, a dramatic blast that brought down the old SDG&E building, clearing the way for the Padres' new Field of Dreams. News 8 was there for the Big Bang and the crowd's electric reaction.
Witness 70 years of history transformed.
5.
San Diego's first implosion
4.
was designed to electrify the crowd
3.
and bring down the old
2.
SDG&E services building.
1. Go!
The wind blew the resulting cloud of dust towards the trolley station and into some fans. Later, smoke billowed into the air after some plastic materials caught fire. Neither of those things surprised the experts.
We didn't expect the fourth floor to pulverize as much as it did, so we're real ecstatic. It did a very good job, and it went off better than we expected.
After the explosion, Trevor Hoffman and Carlos Hernandez got together for a symbolic blast of a different kind.
Hopefully, I get to hit during the season when this new stadium. By the time it's ready, I would like to play here too.
You know, that was a pretty good show. It was a lot better than I thought it was. Fireworks and God, just the way it reverberated all through everybody. It was pretty incredible.
The energy that once flowed on this site now travels through a different circuit.
Symbolic, dramatic milestone. It's another step forward on a long march to the ballpark and redevelopment project for downtown San Diego.
And one we won't soon forget. Kathy Chen, KFMB News 8.
Started something big for downtown, certainly. Around the turn of the century, there was growing controversy over SDSU's mascot, Monty Montezuma. There was criticism that he was an insensitive and insulting caricature, but for many others, he was a beloved symbol of the school. Back in 2000, some high-powered SDSU alumni rallied behind the then Aztec mascot, with county supervisors even joining the fight. News 8's Pat Gaffey reports.
Wearing red and black, school colors of their alma mater, a pair of county supervisors defended San Diego State's mascot and symbol.
And the Aztec Empire is a very powerful empire, and Montezuma, too, was a very powerful hero of that empire.
Flanked by two students leading a petition drive, two supervisors declared their support for saving San Diego State tradition.
We have so many Hispanic and Native American influences here, and we believe that it's very, very appropriate, and we want to stand up and say we're Aztecs, we're proud of it.
Some Native American students see the Aztec mascot as racist, and the university president will decide whether to get rid of it. A former Monty Montezuma wants to preserve 75 years of school history.
I think we should leave it to the students and along with the alumni. We're committing political and financial suicide if they did want to change the name.
Among defenders of the Aztec, some alumni concede the red-faced, big-nosed image might need some modification.
I think everybody's in favor of working with those who have different kinds of viewpoints and opinions to fix it. To use a popular phrase today, I would say let's mend it, let's not end it.
On Tuesday, all 5 county supervisors, each a graduate of SDSU, will vote on sending a letter of Aztec support to the university president. Pat Gaffey, KFMB News 8.
Ultimately, Monty Montezuma was officially banned by the school back in 2018 and has not been replaced. Now let's take a look at some of the champions in the sports world from 2000. The St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf, won the Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta, defeating the Tennessee Titans. It was the franchise's first Super Bowl win and their first NFL championship since 1951. In men's college basketball, Michigan State beat Florida to win the NCAA championship. On the women's side, UConn defeated Tennessee for the title. The New York Yankees completed a three-peat by beating the Mets in the World Series, adding to their 1998 and 1999 wins. And Phil Mickelson, San Diego's very own, won the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines for the second time. He'd win it one more time in 2001. Our blast from the past isn't over yet. Still ahead, cell phone use getting out of hand. Why San Diego's mayor said it was time to hang up the bad cell phone habits. And the digital disaster that never happened. How San Diego handled the national Y2K scare. That's in just 2 minutes. Midnight hit, the lights stayed on, and Y2K fears turned out to be a big bust. After millions spent and months of preparation, News 8 showed us San Diego rolled into the new millennium with barely a glitch, unless you count some empty shelves.
The new century got the green light to come in without a hitch. Despite all the hoopla, there's been no major problems. At the pumps today, business as usual, even though yesterday there were some lines. You're buying gas today. Did you think about buying it yesterday?
No.
Why?
Not a thought. I don't think there's any problem. We're in control, at least of the gas.
Yesterday, bottles of water flowed off the shelves as people stockpiled. No problems today.
I didn't think nothing was going to happen personally, but, I think it was all propaganda, so people can go ahead and get stuff.
In the last week, flashlights, batteries, and even propane tanks evaporated off the shelves. Not today. Now, one thing people did worry about, flying, and what could happen if the computers went down. Well, the jets are flying as usual today.
I just don't see nothing scary about it. No, electricity didn't go off, computers probably didn't go off, so nothing to worry about.
Most banks stayed closed today, but one, Rancho Santa Fe National in Escondido, stayed open just to prove it could.
All the computers are working, the vault opened, everything's great.
Of course, one or two things were blamed on Y2K.
Some of the elevators were out. Some of the lights in the halls were out.
It had nothing to do with Y2K. It was a power generator.
Well, you got to be thinking Y2K.
Kathy Chen, KFMB News 8.
We got through it. Cell phones had been around for decades, but by 2000, they had become very common, with technology improving and prices dropping. But that brought out a new problem, a major lack of etiquette. That's why San Diego Mayor Susan Golding unveiled a program to remind cell phone users to mind their manners.
Okay. Just about everywhere you turn in San Diego, you'll see someone on a cell phone. No problem if they're not talking in your ear, but what if they're at the next booth in a restaurant or sitting next to you in a theater?
That really bugs me. And everyone in movie theaters trying to be polite, and they just are and you can usually hear them, and it's not an important conversation. It's oh, what are you doing later tonight?
That sort of thing bugs a lot of San Diegans, including Mayor Susan Golding. Today she unveiled a new program designed to gently remind cell phone users to mind their manners.
When they enter a restaurant or a theater, a school, to turn off their cell phones or to put them on vibrate.
No, it's not a law, just a suggestion, like the one posted already in front of the Corvette Diner.
So we don't necessarily tell people that they cannot come into the restaurant without a cell phone. We just are encouraging people to be courteous.
Worth a shot, so the mayor is encouraging businesses to post these signs in public places across San Diego. Will it work? Does it work here?
Most people kid around and say, oh, is this true? You mean I can't bring my cell phone in? And then they laugh and then they come in with their cell phone anyway.
Don Teague, KFMB News 8.
We could use some refresher courses, just saying. Cell phones are, of course, no longer just for calls. Now they're your pocket-sized portal to everything, a fountain of information at your fingertips. But it took some time to get here. In 2000, GTE had just launched a new wireless service called Info Manager. It was a feature that transformed phones, allowing users to customize the information they wanted right from their desktop and then have it sent straight to their phone screen. From tracking stocks to checking your daily horoscope, this was the first time your phone could keep you connected to more than just a conversation.
You can look up financial news, you can look up weather, you can get travel information, you can get information about entertainment offerings in the area, you can get information about traffic.
So whether you were a Leo looking for a lucky day or just trying to beat rush hour, your phone was becoming the only tool you would ever need. The way we acquire and listen to music has changed significantly over the years. In 2000, Napster was the go-to site to find your favorite songs. Consumer Bob shows us how the music sharing service was literally breaking the internet.
The computer screen is filled with musical choices, songs condensed using MP3 technology. And a popular website named Napster will help you download any song you want.
And because Napster is so new, people are going, wild with it. It's going into like a candy store. You've got thousands of songs, anything you want, as much as you want.
So kids across the country are bypassing the music store and instead sharing their favorite songs over their computers. But uploading and downloading music like this is demanding of the internet.
You could have almost 8,000 people online at once sharing files.
They could be slowing down a customer service.
Cox Cable says Napster helps kids share music, but at the same time, it helps jam up Cox's internet service. You see, the Napster program opens up your computer music files to the world.
Using Napster is basically setting up a server with their home computer, which is against our acceptable use policy that all consumers agree to.
Cox isn't the only one to have named Napster as public enemy #1. Both San Diego State and UCSD have banned the Napster website from their college computer system. The colleges say the demands of Napster and MP3 has slowed down their online service to students. Cox is afraid it could have the same effect on their at-home internet service.
We will have to say you can either stop doing this or we'll have to disconnect the service.
I think they should continue to warn people, and if people that do abuse it, then yeah, you've been warned, we'll cut you off. But saying that you cannot use this piece of software, and I don't think that's right.
Cox says it's not so much banning Napster as saying to its customers you cannot run a server from your home. So customers will have to either drop the popular website or face the music.
Bob Hansen, News 8.
Up next, she's cute, cuddly, and she was helping the San Diego Zoo to cash in.
This is great. That's okay. We drove thousands of miles for this.
Meet the panda cub that turned San Diego into a tourist jackpot. But before we go to break, here's a look at the top songs of the 2000s. It's the last of its kind in San Diego, and it's still rolling strong. Skate World celebrated 25 years of spins, memories, and old school fun in 2000. For a quarter century, it was run by Gary Stang, who started it all with a $6,000 loan from his grandmother. Built on ground once used by the military and Kearney High's first gym, the rink has seen everything from jazz legends to love stories.
Well, I can't tell you how many times we've had people meet and get married, and the kids that have grown up here who are bringing their kids here now.
This is the first rink I've worked at when I was a kid, and now I'm 35.
This year, the rink turns 50. It's still a family business with Gary's son, Brett Stang, running the operation now. Finally, black and white, as cute as can be. Wame was the most popular one-year-old in San Diego and beyond. As Kathy Chin reported, the giant panda cub was a sensation here and all around the world.
Panda lovers, to your marks.
Looks like a friendly crowd, so that's a good thing.
Sit, go. The race was on to be among the first to get a good look at baby Wame. Once everyone got to the enclosure area, first things first, a quick ceremony.
Her name is Wame, which means China USA, to symbolize the relationship between our two countries, but most of all, she's absolutely adorable.
A few short words from the mayor and zoo officials, then it was time to file in. Early visitors could barely make out the nearly 6-month-old cub who was busy napping in the far trees. Silent pleas that she moved more than a hair fell on sleeping ears.
I was hoping she'd be moving around more, but oh well, it was worth it.
It's wonderful.
Even though she's asleep?
That's okay. This is great,
That's
man.
okay.
We drove thousands of miles for this.
Even though the crowd was large, there were only a few problems. This was an international event, meaning cameras everywhere. What most visitors saw was just a glimpse of Wame. If they were lucky, they saw a little more.
I'm this close to her. It's worth the wait.
She's nice.
Is she as cute as you expected?
Yeah, but smaller.
Well, I can't see very much of her, but I've been watching her on the internet. She is so precious.
Kathy Chin, KFMB, News 8.
For joining us for this News 8 Throwback special, I'm Carlo Cicchetto. You can see more stories like this on our free streaming channel, CBS 8+. Download on your TV and watch for free.